From his childhood, Nasrudin was known as contrary. His family had become so used to this habit of his that they always told him to do the opposite of what they wanted him to do. On his 14th birthday, Nasrudin and his father were taking a donkey load of flour to market. As dawn broke, they were crossing a rickety rope bridge, and the load began to slip. "Quick," Nasrudin, his father shouted. "Heave up the load on the left, otherwise the flour will be lost." Nasrudin immediately raised the left-hand sack on the donkey. The whole lot of flour was unbalanced as a result and fell into the torrent below. "Ridiculous fool," said his father. "Don't you always go by contraries? Did I not specify the left-hand load, meaning the right?" "Yes, father, but I am now 14 years old. As from dawn today, I am considered to be a rational adult, and therefore I am complying with your orders." Seems he changed at age 14. Contrariness. The value of a desire. Nasrudin had a buffalo whose horns were very wide apart. He had often thought that he could mount between them. It would be just like sitting on a throne. One day the animal sat down near him, and he simply had to sit between the horns. He could not resist the temptation. The buffalo almost immediately stood up and tossed him. His wife, finding him laying on the ground stunned, began to cry. "Weep not," said the mullah as he came round. "I have had my suffering, but at least I have also attained my desire." He got his desire fulfilled. Cool. When to worry. Nasrudin's donkey was lost. Everyone helped him to search the neighborhood. Someone said, "You don't seem at all worried. You realize, do you not, that your donkey may never be found?" Nasrudin said, "You see that hill yonder? Nobody has looked there yet. If they don't find it there, then I'll start to worry." He probably goes up there, that donkey. Or else. Nasrudin went through the village shouting, "I have lost my saddlebag." "Just find it," he continued in a thunderous voice, "or else." Alarmed people went in all directions to look for the bag. Eventually it turned up. "What would you have done, Mullah?" someone asked, "if we had not found it?" "I would have made myself another one out of some material which I have in my workshop." Page 118. How long is too long? A man wanted to dock the tail of a horse. Talk, the tail of a horse. He asked the mullah how long he should make it. "It makes a little difference," said Nasrudin, "because irrespective of what you do, opinions will differ, even your own opinion from time to time. Too long, no, too short." Opinions do differ, I guess. And anachronism. "Why are you sitting at the crossroads, Mullah? One day something will happen here, and a crowd will gather. When that comes about, I may not be able to get close enough, so I'm putting in my time now. Hmm. 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 Interesting. No time to waste. Nasrudin ran to an appointment in a nearby town. Stark naked. People asked him why. I was in such a hurry to get dressed that I forgot my clothes. Altruism. Again and again, Nasrudin tried to tie a turban out of a piece of material which he had been given, but it was too short. Eventually, he took it to the market and gave it to an auctioneer to sell for him. When the sale started, he heard the auctioneer praising the taut to the skies, and the bidding rose and rose. I cannot stand to hear so many good things said about a wretched piece of cloth which has caused me so much trouble, thought the Mullah. Am I to conceal the shortcoming of such an unworthy thing? So he stole up to the man who had made the last bid and whispered to him, that muslin is hardly worth buying for a turban. It is a short length. Altruism, it's called. Perhaps there is a road up there. Some small boys planned to steal the mullah's slippers and run away with them. They called him and pointed to a tree. Nobody could climb that tree. Any one of you could, said Nasrudin, and I shall show you. Removing his slippers, he tucked them into his belt and began to climb. The mullah, they cried, you won't need your slippers in a tree. Mulla Nasrudin, who had sensed without knowing why that he should take his slippers with him, reproved them. Be prepared for every emergency. For all I know, I might find a road up there. Yeah, they didn't fool him. Announcement. Nasrudin stood up in the marketplace and started to address the throng. O people, do you want knowledge without difficulties, truth without falsehood, attainment without effort, progress without sacrifice? Very soon a large crowd gathered, everyone shouting, yes, yes, excellent, said the mullah. I only wanted to know. You may rely upon me to tell you all about it if I ever discover any such thing. It's a nice picture. Weird. What is above and what is below? A headstrong grandee had obtained from the Sultan the rights of sharecropping on the land occupied by Nasrudin. When the court clerk asked him what crop he wanted to share, he merely said, just put in whatever is above the ground. He presented himself at the mullah's house with the order duly sealed. But that year Nasrudin had planted turnips, and the above ground share did not amount to much. The following year the townsman arrived for his share, having had specified on his order the whole crop below ground. This year, however, Mullah was growing wheat. Speculator. Nasrudin bought a large number of eggs and at once sold them at a price lower than the cost. When asked why he did it, he said, "Surely you don't want me to be called a profiteer." Speculator. Louder than an ox. Nasrudin stole a bug, killed it, and removed the skin. The owner traced the crime to him and started shouting and wailing. "Strange," said Nasrudin, "that cause and effect operates. I kill an animal and the owner behaves as if he is being flayed." I did not start it. Nasrudin. Nasrudin went to a mosque and sat down. His shirt was rather short, and the man behind him pulled it lower. Nasrudin immediately pulled on the shirt of the man in front of him. "What are you doing?" asked the man in front. "Don't ask me," asked the man behind. "He started it." In the mosque, Nasrudin was sitting meditating in a mosque at the end of a row of the faithful. Suddenly one involuntarily said, "I wonder whether I have left the fire burning at home." His neighbor said, "You have broken your silence and spoiled the prayer. Now you will have to say it again." So have you, said the next man. "Praise be to Allah," said Mulla Nasrudin aloud, "that I have not broken silence." Page 129. We're reading from the Pleasantries of the incredible Mulla Nasrudin by Idries.